are in live now, sir.
Sure, yeah. Thank you.
So we'll start, sir. So very good morning to all the participants, and it is a great pleasure to have you all here for Knowledge 4.0 webinar series, which is one of the unique initiatives of Chennai Institute of Technology under the guidance of our Honorable Chairman Shri P. Sriram, a successful first-generation entrepreneur, a well-known industrialist, and managing director of MK Group of Companies. Under Knowledge 4.0 series, we have been conducting webinar series such as Technical Webinar Series, Research Webinar Series, Career Guidance Webinar Series, Alumni Webinar Series, and Innovation Webinar Series. Already, we have conducted 120 plus technical webinar series, and now we all being at home now during this pandemic, all looking forward to know how to calm our mind and stop raising thoughts. So now we have here Dr. Balakrishnan, CFD specialist, General Electronics USA, to share his views and guide us how to control the restless mind. So now I'm going to introduce our speaker, Dr. Balakrishnan, who is a graduate of both IIT Madras and IIT Bombay. He graduated with a PhD degree in Mechanical Engineering Combustion from IIT Madras in 1999, and he completed his undergraduate in Mechanical Engineering from Alagappa Chettiar Government College of Engineering, Karaikudi in 1989, and he is working as the Computational Fluid Dynamics CFD specialist in General Electronics USA for the last 21 years. He delivered lectures on CFD in many engineering institutions, and he strongly believes that proper public school education will bring peace and prosperity in the society. So he plans even to actively engage in teaching the poor children in India. And Dr. Balakrishnan is a great scholar in Bhagavad Gita. He acquired in-depth understanding of all the verses in Bhagavad Gita and delivered scientific lectures on different topics in many prestigious institutions in India and US. He taught the entire Bhagavad Gita in Tamil and English using teleconference to thousands of people, which brought peace of mind in many families. He is currently teaching Bhagavad Gita to college students in India and even across the world. And now we welcome and hand over the session to Dr. Balakrishnan, sir. Sir?
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning to all of you. Good morning to everyone. And first of all, I would like to thank Mr. Sriram, the founder and chairman of Chennai Institute of Technology. So when he contacted me a few weeks ago, I was very happy for the first time to talk with him. And then I got this opportunity. He informed me that I should present in this webinar. So this is a great opportunity for me to share the knowledge which I have got for the last 25 plus years. So I'm very happy to share such a great knowledge to all of you today. So and I thank Dr. Professor Balamurli and also Professor Dhanalakshmi and also the secretary Sridevi, everyone for this great opportunity actually today. So today I'm going to present on this topic, how to control the restless mind. So before that, I just want to quickly inform you how I got in this knowledge first of all. So when I was studying MTech in IIT Bombay, so I got an opportunity to attend Bhagavad Gita. So then I found that it was so much science in it. So Bhagavad Gita, then I found that it is completely science because I am very scientifically oriented. So including my undergrad and then doing my MTech, then I did my PhD also in IIT Madras. So everything when we connect, so as a science, so this was so much of science, and so that's why I got very much interested in that, and then was able to connect everything with the subjects what we are studying also. So that way I started not only learning myself this knowledge and also started sharing this knowledge with my friends and everyone. So so this over the last 25 plus years. So I'm doing this along with doing my job. Actually, I'm working in General Electric for the last 20 plus years, like 21 years. So I'm a CFD specialist, as Professor Dhanlakshmi introduced. So computational fluid dynamics. So this knowledge really brings so much actually peace in our life, basically, to do whatever we want to achieve, basically. So we will be able to achieve. That is the main thing. So this knowledge gives us so much of motivation and inspiration and everything to perform very well in our job. That is the main thing. So as a student, when you are studying, we will be able to do your level best with this knowledge. And anything we do, if we go to work, when we what we want to do, because our goals will be very clear. So with this knowledge, what we are going to study today, and if you follow it up afterwards, so definitely it brings us victory in our life, success. So everything we can achieve success. So let me start sharing this presentation, and at the end we can discuss if any questions are there also. So let me share my screen. So I hope you are all are able to see my screen. So okay, let me go with this. Okay.
Yes.
So Professor Dhanlakshmi, you are able to see my screen, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can see.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
just hide that bookmark, sir. Hide that bookmark,
Oh yeah,
which is
sure.
shown down.
Yes, I'll do
Okay.
that. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, sure. So yeah, today our topic is how to control the restless mind. So this is a very like important topic actually for every one of us. Because one thing we understand, we need to understand also from this great philosophical book, that mind is restless. So that's very important thing. We all agree with. There is no doubt. Mind is very restless, and how to conquer it, how to control it. So now today we are going to go, as I mentioned earlier, like it's a science. We will approach in a scientific viewpoint. So let us look at it. So now I'm going to spend some time in this slide, elements of material nature. So in elements of material nature, first thing is these five things. First I will focus on this. So earth, water, fire, air, and space. So they are all made up of matter. When we study in chemistry periodic table, the periods and groups and periods, all the elements we study, so they are all made up of like matter. So whatever we see here, earth, water, fire, air, and space, so they are part of this material world. Basically they are made up of matter. So in Bhagavad Gita, one verse in the 7th chapter, verse number 4, Lord Sri Krishna says that Bhumir Apo Analo Vayo Kam. So in this today in this presentation, I'm going to use a lot of Sanskrit verses in Bhagavad Gita, but don't like get scared because of this Sanskrit. Because in fact, truly speaking, when I first started learning, I couldn't utter even a single word. But it's very important for me to say those verses so that I will be able to present what I want to present it to you, and also it will make a lot of sense. So Bhumi means earth, Apo, Analo, Vayo, Kam. So earth, water, fire, air, and space. So what we call it as Panjabhutam. So this is also known as Mahabhutam in Bhagavad Gita. In one verse, Krishna is saying that Mahabhutam. So Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu, Kam. So then these are the part of the material nature, and then mind, intelligence, false ego. So Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu, Kam. Mano, Buddhir, Ahankara. So Mano, mind, Buddhi, intelligence, and Ahankaram. Ahankaram, we know about the word Ahankaram. So that is known as false ego. So I will also explain the meaning of the word Ahankara. So the real meaning of the word Ahankaram is actually, if you just flip it, Karta Aham. So Karta Aham means Ahankara. So Ahankara Vimudatma Karta Aham iti manyate. So a person, because of Ahankara, he thinks that he is doing. But in reality, we are not doing anything. So everything is done by three modes of nature. So these three modes of nature itself is a very important science. We can produce thousands of PhDs on it. It's a very important science. Every one of us are influenced and controlled by these three modes of nature. So there is sattva, rajas, and tamo guna. Sattva guna, rajo. So what we call it as guna. So in Tamil, they say that it's gunadishyam. So it is gunas. So these three gunas are controlling us all the time. So we need to understand from Bhagavad Gita. We understand very clearly that we are not free. We even though we celebrate Independence Day, freedom, all such things, but in reality, in truth, in fact, each and every one of us are forced to act by these three modes of material nature. So nahi kasyate kshanamapi jatu tistati akarmakrit karyategi avassaga karma sarvaga prakriti jair gunai. So not even a single moment one can refrain from doing something. Everyone is forced to act helplessly by the three modes of material nature. So again, this is a very important science. So all this knowledge, everything is there in just one book. So then this earth, water, fire, air, space, mind, intelligence, and false ego. So Krishna is saying that Bhumi Rapo Analo Vayu Kam Mano Buddhir Ahankaram Itiyam Me Binna Prakriti Rastat. So these are my separated, these eight, Astada means eight, my separated natures. So eight natures. So in this material world, everything is made up of matter, as I said in the beginning. So everything. So including our mind, intelligence, false ego, all those things in this material world. So this is all Binna Prakriti. So then in the next verse, Krishna says that there is also a superior nature. So that we will also study. That superior nature is the soul. So we are not the body, we are the soul. We need to understand. So now the elements of material nature is basically time. Time also is a part of the nature. So these are all the elements of the material nature. In another verse also, Krishna says in the 13th chapter, Mahabhutani ahankaro buddhihi avyaktamevacha indriyani dasa ekamcha panchai chendriya gocharar. So panchai indriya gochara. So all this, everything about this material world, material nature, everything is just given in one sloka. So that's what this material world is made up of. Everything what we see in the space, everywhere in the space, there is gas, lot of ice, lot of solid, liquid, water, lot of water. So we are looking for water in other planets. So in the galaxies, wherever we see, only this Panchaputam only we will see. So these material elements basically. So now this is the part of the material nature we need to understand. But here today we are going to focus on mind, because our topic is that how to control the restless mind. So now in order to understand about the mind, we need to understand about its relationship with everything else. So that's what we are going to focus today. So that is relationship between body, mind, senses, intelligence, and soul. This is all science. This is nothing like myth or something. This is all, everything is science. So body, mind, senses, intelligence, and soul, they are all related. So like when we study any scientific subjects, any books or something, there are a lot of factors, lot of variables. They are one depends on the other. So a lot of interactions between them. So like that here, within our body, within our life, in our life, we have body, mind, senses, intelligence, and soul. So one is controlled by the other, and a lot of things are there. A lot of interactions, relationship between these things. So we need to understand. So this is very important. So that's what today we are going to focus a little bit on that before we'll cover about how to control the restless mind. So we need to understand about our mind, then only we will be able to think about controlling the mind. So now in this relationship, at the bottommost step is the body. So body is at the bottommost. So it's a gross elements. All these elements, whatever in the previous slide, what I showed. So earth, water, fire, air, and space, they are all known as gross elements. Whereas mind, intelligence, and false ego, they are known as subtle elements. So this body is the lowest one in this five things. So body, then senses are superior to body. So the next thing is the senses. Senses are superior to the body. So we have senses in our body. So we have five senses to see. and 5 working senses. I'm going to explain in detail about those things in the coming slides. So the senses are superior to the material body. So we will understand how senses are superior to material body. So then comes mind. So that is our subject today. So mind is higher than the senses. Mind is higher than the senses. So senses are superior to body and mind is above the senses. Then comes intelligence. Intelligence is still higher than the mind. So intelligence is above the mind. So intelligence is still higher than the mind. So then comes soul. Soul is even higher than the intelligence. So these things in Bhagavad Gita, just in one verse, just in one sloka, Krishna is saying very clearly, very nicely in the 3rd chapter. Indriyani parani ahugu, indriyebhya param manaka, manasastu para buddhi, yo buddhe paratastu saha. So indriyani, senses, indriyani parani ahugu. The senses are superior to body. Indriyani parani ahugu. Indriyebhya param manaka. Mind is param. Mind is superior. Mind is superior than the senses. Indriyebhya param manaka. Manasastu para buddhi. So buddhi, intelligence. Intelligence is better than, superior than, higher than mind. Manasastu para buddhi. Yo buddhe paratastu sa. So the soul is above the intelligence. So we are that soul. We are not this body. But we think in our life most of the time that we are this body. But this body is temporary. This body will come to an end. Na hanyate hanyamane sarire. When this body is destroyed, the soul is not destroyed. The soul has neither birth nor death at any point of time. Like I always, since I mentioned in the beginning that I'm very scientifically looking at this Bhagavad Gita, so I come up with the laws also based on this Bhagavad Gita. We know we study the law of conservation of mass, the law of conservation of energy. So mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be similarly, energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be changed from one body into one form into another energy. So similarly, the law of conservation of soul is also true. We study, we understand the law of conservation of mass and energy. We apply, and we, a lot of scientific progress we made with these laws. So similarly, the law of conservation of soul, na jayate mriyate va kadasin nayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuya. The soul has neither birth nor death at any point of time. So that way, the soul can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transmigrated from one body into another. So it is simply science. So that way, it is not at all hard for us to understand about the soul, for us to believe about the soul. But still, it's very difficult to visualize. So that's why in one verse, Krishna says that someone look at the soul as amazing, someone hear about it as amazing, someone describe it as amazing, like that. Ascharyavat pasyati kaschitenam ascharyavat vadatti tataiva chanyaga ascharyavat chainam anya srunoti srutvapi ena vedana chaiva kasit. So ascharya means it's amazing. Someone look at the soul as amazing. So now let us go one by one, the senses. So I'm going to explain how the senses are superior to dull matter. First of all, we need to know senses are indriyas, and totally there are 10 senses are there. So the 10 senses, they're all made up of this matter only, made up of this material body. So in this material body, we have the senses. So how, first of all, we will first understand what are those 10 senses and how the senses are superior to body. So 5 knowledge acquiring senses, they are known as jnanendriyas. So whatever knowledge we have, whatever knowledge we are going to gain, whatever knowledge we are having now, everything we have got it from these 5 senses. So the sense of seeing, eyes, sense of hearing, ears, and then nose, smelling, and then tongue, tasting, and then skin, touching. So in this material world, we gain knowledge with these senses. We know when we see something, we know its shape, its color, and everything, because we are able to see, the sense of seeing. So similarly, we know the sound, the ears, we are hearing. So nose, tongue, skin. So with all these 5, these are known as knowledge acquiring senses. That's why jnanendriyas. So we gain the knowledge when we go to college, when we study, when we do everything. So all this knowledge, we are gaining everything with these 5 senses. So, but these senses, understand, we need to understand that they are made up of matter. Everything. the ears, everything. There is all the sound waves comes and hits the eardrum, and then it goes to the brain, all such things. Similarly, the eyes, the light comes and goes through the eyes retina, and then it goes, all those things. So everything is science, everything is made up of matter. So these knowledge acquiring senses. So similarly, we have 5 working senses. They are known as karmendriyas. So in our body, totally 10 senses, and 5 knowledge acquiring senses and 5 working senses. So the karmendriyas are hands, legs, voice, anus, and genital. So these are under our control. So our working senses. So when we have the knowledge, when we acquire the knowledge, when we want to apply the knowledge, so we need to use our hands and legs to do the to act. So that's why they are known as working senses. They are known as karmendriyas. So jnanendriyas and karmendriyas. And similarly to speak. So the jaw, anywhere the movement, the joints moving, correct, in the knee and the elbow, and then the jaw and everything, we are moving. It's under our control. So we are able to do the activities. So that's what they are known as karmendriyas. They are known as working senses. Similarly, anus and genital, all those things, we are controlling it. So all these things are all 5, totally 10 senses. So in our material body, we have these 10 senses. So now we understand how these senses are superior to body, superior to just the dull matter, just earth, water, fire, air, and space. So the senses are superior to that. So because if we can have a perfect body working, all the organs in our body can work very well. So blood pressure can be 120, 80, it can be very normal, and sugar is under control, everything perfect, our body can work. But what if none of the senses are working? Are we dead at that point of time? No, we may still live. But we have seen a person who is blind, or a person who is dumb, who cannot hear, so deaf, all those things. So who cannot speak and who cannot hear. But what if a person has all these senses are not working? A person who is in coma. That's what, when a person goes to coma. So the senses are not working. So, but still alive. So that way, if senses are not there, so even if the body is working, so that life has no meaning. So that's why senses are superior to dull matter, superior to body. So similarly, the working senses, even if we acquire all the knowledge, but if we are severely handicapped, if we are bedridden, and if we cannot move our legs and hands, if we are paralyzed, we cannot do anything. So that way, the senses are above the body. So now senses are definitely superior to dull matter. Now we are going to look at the mind. So mind is higher than the senses. How mind is above the senses? Now it's very simple. It's very, very simple to explain. No need to have such 10 senses listing all those things. It's very easy to explain. All the 10 senses may work very well. So if every sense is working very well, very good, but mentally if you are not stable, so what if a person is a mental? So mind is not stable. So that means if one becomes a mental patient, then the senses are useless. Even if the senses are working very well, but if our mind is not working, so if our mind is mentally, we are very much disturbed, and mentally we are very much psychiatric disorders if we have, so then it is very difficult. The body we can have a very excellent healthy body, and all the senses may work very well, but having a strong mind and focused mind is very, very important. So that's why mind is above the senses. Mind is higher than the senses. And today our topic is that how to control the restless mind. That's what we are going to focus. How to focus, how to keep our mind peaceful. That is the main thing. Asantasya kuta sukam. Krishna is asking in one question. Krishna is, in fact, in the entire Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asks the question. Arjuna asks a lot of questions, very nice questions, excellent questions. So if we understand all those questions and find out the answers for those questions, our life will be beautiful. We know exactly what to do in our life. Everything will be very clear. So, but Krishna asks one question to Arjuna, Asantasya kuta sukam. The answer is there in that question itself. Asantasya kuta sukam means when there is no peace of mind, where from happiness comes. So happiness is defined as the status of our mind. So that also we are going to study. So now we know that mind is above the senses. So these are all the properties about the mind. Mind thinks. So we are thinking only With mind only we can think. Dhyayatu, so dhyanam, so thinking. So dhyayato visayan, with the mind we can think about the sense objects. With the mind we can think about the God. So the mind thinks and mind processes. Mind is the processor. Like a computer has got a processor, so the mind processes all the information stored in our brain. So mind is the processor. And mind, that's what mind uses the data stored in the brain, basically. So mind is it can either be controlled by the senses or the soul. So now mind, in that steps I showed that the senses are below the mind, but above the mind the soul is there. Soul and intelligence is there. So now that mind, it can be either controlled by the senses or the soul. So that's what we need to understand very carefully. So when controlled by the soul, that means when we control our mind, mind is the best friend. That's what we need to understand. But when controlled by the senses, that means if the mind controls us, so it is the worst enemy. Bandhuratma atmanastasya enatmaiva atmanachitaga anatmanastu satrutve vartetatmaiva satruvat. So bandhu means friend, satru means enemy. So when we control the mind, mind is our friend. But when mind controls us, then mind will be our enemy. So peaceful mind brings happiness, disturbed mind brings distress. So that's what we understand. So it is very important for us to keep our mind very, very peaceful. So that secret, that science is very clearly explained in Bhagavad Gita, very, very nicely. Because in the beginning, Arjuna was totally disturbed. Arjuna was mentally disturbed a lot. And Arjuna told Krishna that my mind is reeling, I'm forgetting myself. Nachasaknomi avastatum brahmatyeva chame managa nimittani cha pasyami viparitani kesava. So my mind is reeling, I'm forgetting myself. Dharma sammuda chetaga, I don't know what is right and what is wrong. Yadvajayema yadivana jayu, I don't know whether to win or to lose. So he was totally confused person. But after getting the entire knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna tells Krishna that now nashto moha gata samdega sitosmi, everything he was telling. So my illusion is gone, I have regained my memory, so I am very well situated. All such things, smritir labda, all those things Arjuna was telling. So that's why this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita will give us all the knowledge to make sure that our mind is very peaceful. So here again, just to show in a picture form, mind is the source of happiness and distress. So peaceful mind is a happy mind. We will achieve happiness. If mind is disturbed, so that's why our topic is restless today. So because the nature of mind is restless. So Arjuna himself tells Krishna that the mind is restless. We are going to study that in one shloka, that also. So this graph just explains everything. So whatever I just said, so I mentioned, I put it here in this graphical format. So if peace of mind increases, happiness increases. If peace of mind increases, happiness increases. So if peace of mind decreases, then distress increases. So that is the main thing. So if we need to understand the techniques, we need to understand from Bhagavad Gita how to keep our mind very peaceful. So it's a very important thing, because in our life, if we all the time, if we are disturbed, if we are suffering, we are struggling, then we will miss this beautiful life in this way. So it's very important. So as I said earlier, like we will be able to, if mind is under our control, if we are very peaceful, we'll be able to achieve a lot of things. So whatever we want to achieve in our studies, in our job, in our future, everything will become wonderful with this knowledge, definitely. So anything properties, like we study about the properties of chemical properties, physical properties, like that we study. So like that here, the properties of mind are chanchalam. Chanchalam means it is restless. That means it's flickering. And pramati means it's turbulent and it's agitating. And balavat, it's very strong. And dhritam, it is obstinate, it is determined. These are all the properties of mind. So Krishna in the 6th chapter, in 32 slokas, Krishna explains to Arjuna very, very clearly about how to control the mind. In fact, for this topic, I should be just literally going through all those 32 slokas, but I'm just covering like broad overview. But if you have time, or if you attend my future Zoom classes I'm having every day, So we will be able to understand. Krishna is explaining in very much detail about how to control the mind. So after listening to everything, so in this sloka number 33 in the 6th chapter, Arjuna simply told Krishna that this etasyayam et na pasyami etasyaham na pasyami yoyam yogas tvaya proktaga samena madhusudana etasyaham na pasyami chanchalatva sthitim stira. So whatever you told Krishna, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can control the mind, because the mind is chanchalam, it is restless. So that's what chanchalam. Then in the next sloka he says in the 34th sloka in the 6th chapter, chanchalam ki mana Krishna pramadi balavad dridam tasyagam nigraham manye vayorivas suduskam. So the mind is restless, chanchalam. Chanchalam ki mana Krishna. Pramadi, it is turbulent. Balavad, it's very strong. Dridam, it is very obstinate. So I can even control a hurricane, the wind. Vayuriva suduskram. So that's what Arjuna tells Krishna. So controlling mind is really very difficult. So, but these are all the properties of mind. But we need to get this entire knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, and then we'll know very clearly about how to control the mind. So now let's go to our next subject in that step. So there is intelligence. So that is called buddhi. So intelligence is still higher than the mind. So indriyani parani ahugu indriyevya param manaka manasastu para buddhi. So because intelligence guides the mind, so tells what is right and what is wrong, what is good and what is bad. So that's why when we want to do certain things, we always get guidance from inside, from internal guidance. We get the guidance from our intelligence. Intelligence guides the mind, tells what is right and what is wrong. So, but mind should listen to the intelligence and act. It's very important. So intelligence is guiding the mind. If the mind is not listening to the intelligence, then only it's a problem. Because body, senses, and mind are useless without intelligence. If we don't have intelligence, we don't use intelligence. So then we may have a perfectly working body and a healthy body and all the senses working very well, and mind is, everything is fine. But if you don't have intelligence, then it will lead us to destruction. That's why in one verse, two verses, Krishna says very clearly, Dhyayato visayan pumsaga sangaste supajayate sangat sanjayate kamaka kamat krodho abhijayate krodhat bhavati sammogaga sammohat smriti vibhramaga smriti bhramshat buddhinasat pranasati. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them. From such attachment, lust develops. From lust, anger arises. From anger, delusion arises. From delusion, memory is bewildered. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. When intelligence is lost, we are in trouble. So that's why we need to have the intelligence. It's very important. So we need to connect with God, with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then we will gain the intelligence. So dadami buddhi. So Krishna says that I give them intelligence. Dadami buddhi. So intelligence is still higher than the mind. So ignorance is dangerous. Knowledge is blissful. So it's not that ignorance is blissful. Sometimes we hear people saying that ignorance is blissful, but ignorance is dangerous. However, intelligence is needed to use the knowledge. We need intelligence. So now the final one and the topmost is the soul. There is Atma. We are not this body. We are the soul. In our life, without the knowledge of without having this knowledge, we always think that we are this body, our body. And scientifically also, scientists say that everything is made up of matter, so there is no soul. There is no way we can prove that there is a soul with our modern science. If anyone wants to agree that only if I see the soul, then only I will believe, or if I sense, then no, because soul is beyond all material senses, because it is not made up of matter. So that's what we need to understand. Yatha sarvagatam saukshmyat akasham nopalipyate sarvatra avastita dege tathatma nopalipyate. Very nice analogy Krishna is giving to explain that we are the soul. So the sky, which is pervading everywhere, doesn't mix with anything. We see the akasha, the space. Yatha sarvagatam saukshmyat akasha. It's pervading everywhere. It doesn't mix with anything. So similarly, the soul, which is pervading in this body, which doesn't mix with the body, tatatma nopalipyate sarvatra avastita dege. It's there inside this dega, in this body, but it doesn't mix with the body. That's what we need to understand. So that way we are changing the bodies. So we are changing Kaumaram Yavvanam Jara. Dehinosmin Yata Dekhe Kaumaram Yavvanam Jara Tata Dehantara Praptiki Diraga Tatrana Mukhyate. So in our life, the body what we had at the childhood, the body what we have now is totally different. So scientifically speaking, also the food what we eat, the molecules in that food, they make our cells, they make the biomolecules. So everything is changing. So we are not this body. So this knowledge is very, very important. So this body is like a dress for the soul. So vasamsi jinani yata vigaya navani grignatin aroparan. So when the dress what we wear, when the garments it becomes old, we will throw it away and get a new one. Similarly, when the body becomes old and useless, we will throw it away and get a new body. Navani anyani samyati navani te. So that way, soul is even higher than the intelligence. So soul should control the mind with the help of intelligence. Otherwise, mind will control the soul. That's what is very important. So now, when senses control the mind, then mind will control the soul. If soul controls the mind, then with the mind we can control the senses. So that is the relationship between senses, mind, intelligence, and soul. If we have intelligence, then with that intelligence, using that intelligence, if soul controls the mind, then we will be able to control our senses. But if we don't have intelligence, if we lost our intelligence, so that means the senses will start controlling the mind, then mind will control the soul. So that's why the soul should control the mind with the help of intelligence. Otherwise, mind will control the soul. Once the mind is controlled, soul will be able to control the senses. As I just said it. If we control the mind, then we can control our senses. If we can't control our mind, we cannot control our senses. That's what is very important. So otherwise, senses will control the mind. So mind is the source of happiness and distress, but happiness and distress are experienced by the soul. So we are the one who are experiencing the happiness and distress. Even though the three modes of material nature, they are doing all the activities, we are not doing it. I explained about ahankara, correct? Ahankara means all the prakrite kriyamanani gunaihi karmani sarvasaga, all the activities are carried out by the gunas, the three modes of material nature. Ahankara vimudatma kartakamiti manyate. A person, because of ahankara, he thinks that I am doing it. So in another verse, Krishna is saying that in the 13th chapter, Karya Karana Kartrutve Hetu Prakriti Uchade, Purusaga Sukadukana Bhoktrutve Hetu Uchade. So the Prakriti is said to be the cause of all causes for creating and doing all the works. Whereas the Purusha, the soul, is said to be the cause for our Sukadukkanam, happiness and distress. So that's why the happiness and distress are experienced by the soul. So better to control the mind and be happy all the time. Otherwise, we will suffer when the mind brings distress. So that is the reality. So this is a nice picture which explains whatever I said until now. Everything in one slide, one picture just explains. So Atmanam Ratinam Vidhi. So this is not in Bhagavad Gita, it is in Kathopanishad. One verse it says that Atmanam Ratinam Vidhi. So Ratinam means the passenger who sits in the Ratha. So Ratha is the chariot. So Atmanam Ratinam Vidhi means the passenger is the soul. Soul is the passenger sitting in the chariot. Atmanam Ratinam Vidhi. Then Sariram Ratham Evacha. Sariram Ratham. So Sariram is the body. This body is the Ratham. So the Ratham, the chariot is the body. Sariram Ratham Evacha. So Buddhim tu Sarathim Vidyim. Sarathi means the charioteer. So who is driving the chariot? So that is Buddhi. The intelligence is the charioteer, the driver of the chariot. That's why Buddhim tu Charathim Vidyim. Managa Pragriham Evacha. So mind is the driving instrument, the rope which is used to control the horses. So that's what Managa Pragriham Evacha. Then Indriyani Hayanahu. So Indriyani, the senses are Hayan. Hayan means horses. The horses are the senses. So that's what our life is. Our life is like that. So then this Visayams Tesu Gocharan. Visayams means the sense objects. So the sense objects after which the senses are going. So that's how our life is in this material world. It's just a very good comparison, very good analogy for us to understand all these things. So we should control the senses with the help of the mind. The intelligence should control the senses with the help of the mind. Then we can reach our destination. So if there is no intelligence, there is no driver for the chariot. So then what will happen? Senses will control the mind. and then mind will control, senses and mind will control the soul. So that's why Indriyanam ki charatam yanmanonu vidiyade tadasya harati prajnam vayurnavam ivambasa. Even one of the roaming senses on which the mind focuses can carry away the intelligence. So we are going to study that sloka also here. So now senses control mind and intelligence. So the senses are so strong and impetuous, and they forcibly carry away the mind, even of a man of discrimination who is endeavoring to control them. This is just one sloka. In the sloka number 60, in the second chapter, Krishna says that Yatatohi api kaunteya purusasya vipaschitaga indriyani pramatini haranti prashabam managa. So indriyani pramatini, the senses are so strong and impetuous, haranti prashabam managa, they forcibly carry away the mind. So that is the relationship between senses and mind. Then another sloka I just mentioned, as a strong wind sweeps away a boat on the water, even one of the roaming senses on which the mind focuses can carry away a man's intelligence. Indriyanam ki charatam yanmanonu vidiyade tatasya harati prajnam vayurnavam ivamas. So then another very nice sloka Krishna is explaining, that is yada samharate chayam kurma angani eva sarvasaga indriyani indriyartevya tasya prajna pratistita. One who is able to withdraw his senses from the sense objects, as the tortoise withdraws its limbs within the shell, is firmly fixed in perfect consciousness. So these are all scientific, very nice slokas. So now peace of mind, how to achieve it? How to achieve peace of mind? It's a very important. We just studied that peace of mind is the source of happiness. But how to get peace of mind? Apuryamanam achala pradishtam samudramapa pravisanti yatvat tatvat kamayam pravisanti sarve sasantim apnoti nakama kam. So apuryamanam means being filled with water. What is samudram? The ocean. The ocean, even though it is filled with water from all directions. So apuryamanam achala pradishtam samudram apa pravisanti advat. So water is entering from all directions, from many rivers. The ocean is getting water, but still it is achala pradishtam. Still it is steady. The level of the ocean is always steady. Similarly, tadvat kamayam pravisanti sarve. Similarly, the desires are coming into our mind from all directions. Tadvat kamayam pravisanti sarve sasantim apnoti na kama kami. Only when a person is not disturbed by those incessant flow of desires, so only he can achieve the peace of mind. So there is a formula for achieving the peace of mind. So another verse Krishna is saying that Vihaya kamanya sarvan pumam charati nispragaga nirmamo nirahankaraga sasantim adhigachat. So when a person is able to give up all varieties of desires for sense gratification, Vihaya kamanya sarvan pumam charati nispragaga nirmamo, without claiming any proprietorship, nirahankara, without having any ahankara, false ego, sasantim adhigachadi, he will attain the everlasting peace. So when we talk about all these things, it looks like we have to restrict a lot, all such things. How can we control? How can we restrict all these things? But in reality, the happiness comes from peace of mind. So if when we are attached, when we are disturbed, then we lose happiness. Then we are not enjoying. We are suffering. That is the fact. The fact that we think that we have to have attachments and then we will enjoy. But the reality is that we are only suffering. But still we will achieve what we want. The important point is that Krishna is never asking us to give up what we are doing it. Krishna is not, in fact Arjuna told Krishna that let me go and beg and live. Bhoktam baiksham apiga loke. Guru nagatwagi mahanubhavan sreyo bhoktam baiksham apiga loke. So without killing my guru, it's better for me to go and beg and live. So that's what Arjuna told. So but Krishna told Arjuna to fight. Arjuna said that he didn't want to fight. So Krishna asked Arjuna to fight. So that way for us, the inspiration or motivation, what we get from Bhagavad Gita is not to quit what we are doing it, but we will do it to our level best. So that inspiration comes from this knowledge. So now next, how to control the restless mind. This is our topic today. So in this slide, how to control the restless mind. So he who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation, and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. So yukta means regulation. We should be able to regulate all our activities. So that's very important. And another important sloka also Krishna is saying that when a person eats too much or eats too little, or sleeps too much or sleeps too little, then it's not possible to control our mind. Na ati asnatastu yogosti nachaikantam anasnataga nacha atiswapnaseelasya jagrato naiva chat. So these are all very important scientific concepts Krishna is teaching us in Bhagavad Gita. So if we are able to regulate all whatever we are doing, if we are able to keep limits, everything if we do within the limits, then it is fine. So that's why they will bring down the distress. Yuktahara vigarasya yukta chestasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodasya yogo bhavati dukkha. The distress will be minimized, the distress will be gone. Yogo bhavati dukkha. So that's what regulation of all these things very important. And when Arjuna told Krishna that it's very difficult to control the restless mind is turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, all such things. At that time, what did Krishna say to Arjuna? Krishna said, Asamsayam Mahabaho Manodurnigraham Chalam. O mighty armed Arjuna, there is no doubt that it's very difficult to curb the restless mind. But abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena chagriyate. But if you practice with the detachment, it is possible. Suitable practice. That's why Lord Sri Krishna said, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment. So what is that practice? So it's very important for us. So our topic is how to control the restless mind. So we need to do practice like anything. If you want to become a runner, or if you want to a game, if you want to win, so we need to practice, daily practice, then only we can win. Suddenly on the day of the game, if you just go and play, we will fail, we won't win. So similarly here, if you want to make our mind as our best friend, if you want to control the mind, so then we need to do this practice daily. So like an exercise for the body, so it keeps our body very fit and healthy. So similarly, we need to do an exercise for the mind. So that mind exercise, that's what Krishna is teaching here, that Yatho yato nischalati manaschanchalam astiram tatastato niyamyaitat atmanyeva vasam nayet. From wherever the mind wanders, yatho nischalati manaschanchalam astiram. Astiram means unsteady. So astiram, stiram means steady. So manas chanchalam. Chanchalam means restless, because mind is restless and unsteady. Due to that, mind is always wavering. Mind is not in one place, because the speed of mind is very fast. Mano vegam. So it is much faster than light. It's just like that it goes. If you think about some place, immediately you will be there in mind. Mentally we can go to anywhere. So that way Krishna is saying that wherever the mind goes, yato nischalati manas, due to its flickering nature, wherever the mind goes, tatasato niyamyaitat atmanyeva vasam nayet. From there you bring it and bring it under the control of the self. Atmanyeva vasam nayet. From wherever the mind goes, you bring it under the control of the self. So that is the practice. That is an exercise. So that exercise Krishna is very clearly teaching in the 6th chapter, the first 32 slokas, as I mentioned earlier. So Krishna is very, very clearly, he's explaining how to sit straight, not looking at any other directions, and how to focus on controlling the mind, how to watch the mind, where it is going. So if a person is able to do this practice, then mind will become our friend. So that is the way to control the restless mind. So now, as a summary slide, we understood today very clearly that senses are superior to dull matter, and mind is higher than the senses, and the intelligence is still higher than the mind. Soul is even higher than the intelligence. So all this subject itself we understand from Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise we don't know about senses, mind, intelligence, all these things. So in this material world, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkha, Dosanu, Darsanam. One should see that birth, old age, disease, and death are the symptoms of our suffering. So in this material body, it comes into an existence. We take birth and then we die. So, but we are not this body. We are the soul. So we should actually apply this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita in our life, so that we will be able to control our mind and be peaceful. So we need to understand this. All the three modes of material nature are controlling us. We need to free ourselves from these three modes of nature. So that's why all this knowledge is very important. So we understood that intelligence should control the mind and senses, but if senses take control of the mind, then intelligence is lost. If we don't control the mind, if the soul doesn't use the intelligence to control the mind, we are going to lose intelligence. Then senses will control us. Then mind is the source of happiness and distress. Peaceful mind is happy, and disturbed mind is restless mind is distressed. So mind can be our friend or enemy. depending upon whether we control our mind or our mind controls us. So suitable practice with detachment is the only way to control the obstinate mind. So it's very, very difficult to control the mind, as Arjuna told Krishna, and Krishna agreed, there is no doubt about it. But it is not impossible to control the mind. It is very much possible. So that's why this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is very important. This human life is the best opportunity for us to realize ourselves, that we are not the body, we are the soul, scientifically. It's very important. We need to know whatever, until now, whatever I discussed, it is based upon science. In fact, I know, even I am a mechanical engineer, did my PhD in combustion and doing the computational fluid dynamics analysis for the last 20 plus years. But I understand the body, how our body functions, how our metabolism works, and how our brain works, how the neurons they fire. Everything I understand, because when we go through all those things. But even though all these things, everything is matter, everything is made up of matter. But we are not this body. That's the main thing. We are the soul, but the soul is struggling and suffering in this material world. Krishna says in one sloka there, Mamaivamse jivaloke jivabhuta sanatanaka manasastani indriyani prakritistani karsati. So these jivas, the souls are of my amsa, my nature, but they are struggling hard in this material world with 6 senses, including the mind. So that's what manasastani indriyani. I know we studied about the 10 senses. Sometimes Krishna is using the mind also as a part of the senses. Here he says that sastani. In another place he says that dasayekamcha. Thus indriyani dasayekam. Dasayekam means 11. So 11 senses. There he includes both jnanendriyas and karmendriyas, and then the mind. So mind is the master of the senses. Indriyana manas chasmi. Krishna says that of all the senses, I am the mind. So like that. So now this Bhagavad Gita is the king of knowledge. It is the shining lamp of knowledge which destroys the darkness of ignorance. Krishna is saying that Tesam evanukam partha aham ajnanajam tamaka nasayami atma bhavasto jnana deepena bhasvata. This is jnana deepa, means the lamp of shining lamp of knowledge. So it is Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam, Pavitram, Uttamam, Pratyaksha, Vagamam, Dharmyam, Susukkam Kartum, Avyayam. So Rajavidya means the king of knowledge. Rajaguhyam means the king of secrets, the most confidential knowledge. And Pavitram, purest knowledge. And Pavitram, Uttamam, it is the everlasting knowledge. Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam, Pavitram, Uttamam, Pratyaksha, Vagamam, Dharmyam. So it can be directly perceived. And Avyayam means it's everlasting. And then Susukkam Kartum, it can be joyfully performed. So when we study Bhagavad Gita, when we understand about ourselves, so for the body we eat food. So similarly, this knowledge is the food for the soul. So for the soul, this knowledge brings happiness, and it makes our life very meaningful and very purposeful. Without this knowledge, without knowing about ourselves, so our life will be simply meaningless. So that way it will bring meaning in our life. So I wish to thank Lord Sri Krishna for giving this Bhagavad Gita, and Srila Prabhupada for writing his book Bhagavad Gita as it is. I'm sure many of you must be knowing about that book Bhagavad Gita as it is. So without this book, it is impossible for me to prepare and deliver this presentation on how to control the restless mind. So I strongly recommend all of you to make use of this opportunity and study Bhagavad Gita, because materially speaking, we are going to gain everything. We are going to gain much, much more. We are not going to lose anything. Naha Vikrama nasosti pratyavayu na vidya. Even a little advancement we make in this path, which benefits us a lot. It protects from the most dangerous type of fear. So I'm studying this Bhagavad Gita and practicing and teaching this Bhagavad Gita from like when I started my MTech in 1991 in IIT Bombay. At that time I started studying Bhagavad Gita. So from 93, when I started my PhD in IIT Madras, so I continued studying and teaching. So from that time onwards, until now, materially speaking, I have not lost anything. Everything gained. Krishna's mercy with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So it brings so much success in our life. That is the main thing. And it will bring a lot of meaning in our life. And we can make our society very great with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Having Bhagavad Gita as the foundation, we can all Dharma will flourish. So Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita that यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजामि. So that way this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita brings lot of goodness, prosperity and everything in the society. So and I have given in this last slide about the information about this Zoom class which I am giving. I'm doing this for a very long time, and you can note it down. And I have given my, especially my phone number is there, WhatsApp number is there. It is +1 281 857 3699. If you can send me a message in WhatsApp also, I can add you into the WhatsApp group what I have, and I can send more information on this. So definitely it's a great opportunity for me to share my knowledge with all of you, and also for you to get this knowledge, because I got this knowledge as a student when I was studying. So it is really very helpful. So for all these things, I again once again I want to very sincerely thank Mr. Sriram, the founder and chairman of Chennai Institute of Technology, and I will stop now and we'll discuss if any questions are there. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. So
we have questions from the participant side, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah,
Is my voice audible?
I hear you very well. Yes.
Yes, sir. So one participant has asked, like, how to react if someone criticizes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, very good question. So if we have this knowledge, that's the main thing. So we will not be disturbed by anything, because Bhagavad Gita teaches us about how to not get disturbed by anything. When someone criticizing us, so we take it personally. So that's why we are even asking the question about how to react. So if we have this knowledge, first of all, if we don't even react, that person will stop criticizing. That is the first thing we need to know. That. So it's very important. So because how we can develop that kind of mindset again with this knowledge. So in these things, when we first of all, Krishna is saying that in a lot of slokas that mana apamana, in this material world everything is dual in nature, duality. So the whole purpose of our life is, what is yoga? The meaning of yoga. We study about yoga. We discuss. Many times people say yoga. What is the literal meaning, real meaning of yoga? The real meaning of yoga is siddhi asiddhi asiddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. One who is able to be equal in both success and failure. So that equanimity is called yoga. So that way, if we are able to study this knowledge, if we are able to control the mind, so then we will become indifferent to both mana and avamana. So that's what Krishna is teaching, is that jitatmanaga prasantasya paramatma samahitaga, then tata mana apamani. So we will be equal in both honor and dishonor. So that is the main thing. So that way, when we have this knowledge, then if anybody criticizes us, first of all, we will learn to ignore that person. First of all, if that person is not having the knowledge, if that person, we will study a lot in Bhagavad Gita. In the 16th chapter, Krishna is teaching about the two kinds of humans, divine and demoniac natures. So there he gives all the qualities of the divine and demoniac personalities. So if someone is a demoniac person, if he criticizes, so then why should we care about him? So Krishna is teaching everything very clearly. So that way, first thing is that if we gain this knowledge, when we won't be bothered, we won't be disturbed by anyone's criticism. But of course, sometimes the criticism can be positive if they really want us to change. If really there is a mistake with us, so then if it's a positive feedback, we should take it, and we will be able to do that. And how we will gain that mindset, how we will be able to do all those things, everything comes with this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So over a period of time. So this is the time for all of us to take this opportunity to study as a science, because as I was mentioning earlier, for me everything, because I'm taking too much of this, because it's a science. I see that it's a science. It's a perfect science, because now I'm very proud to say that physics, chemistry, math, or biology for 10th grade or high schools, or even up to college, everything I can teach. I understand everything, all the concepts. So like that, there is so much knowledge we will gain with this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, so much inspiration, motivation, everything we will get, because we are one important thing we need to understand, that we are able to connect ourselves with God. When we think about God, when we talk about God, immediately people think that, oh, religion comes into picture. Whether I follow this religion, I follow that religion. No, there are not so many religions are there in this world. It is only one religion. That is the main thing we need to know. For the soul, yes, soul, you cannot say that this soul it belongs to this religion like that. So as a concept of soul, so then we need to understand that is super soul. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that Paramatma. So I am the Paramatma. I'm situated in everyone's heart as the super soul. So Sarvasya Chaham Kriti Sannivishte Mattaga Smriti Jnanam Apohanam Cha. I'm seated in everyone's heart. From me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Isvara Sarvabhutanam Hridaya Arjuna. So Isvara, the controller, is seated in everyone's heart. So we will be able to realize the existence of the God. That is the main thing. So we will be able to develop a relationship with that God. So all such things will happen just because of this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. That is the main thing. So once we have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then we are able to connect with God. So then our life will go wonderful, beautiful. There is no doubt. And at that point of time, we will not be disturbed by anyone's criticism. So the main important thing, just to answer it in one way, just get the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita completely, then everything will be solved. Thank you for that question. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So next question.
Yeah.
Like satisfaction is the highest achievement a mind expects.
Yeah.
But mind needs more than satisfaction. Why? What is the reason?
Yes, because that's another very, very practical question and very important question. So in this material world, we have so much of ambitions. There is nothing wrong to have that. When I studied, also I wanted to study masters and PhD, and even now a lot of things. As I said, a lot of subjects I'm studying because I want to help the society. I want to teach the poor children all these subjects, because these days education in the school education itself has become a business. So there is so much of goodness we can bring by teaching. So the satisfaction really comes only when we are not selfish. So here the mind actually in this material world, if we are going after the material sense objects, so then what is going to happen? It is like searching for water in the desert. So in the desert, we will only see the mirage of water. We won't see the real water. So we will see somewhere it looks like there is water, and we run there, then we will not find water. Then we will see that same mirage of water at some other place. Then we'll run over there. So if we keep running over, we will never find water. So similarly, there is no real happiness or satisfaction in this material world. If we think that, okay, let me finish this task, then I will be very happy. Let me graduate, I will be very happy. Let me find a job, then I will be very happy. Then let me buy a house, I will be happy. Then buy a car. So in reality, we will find that after each and every success, we will not be happy in this material world, because this material world itself, we need to understand, it is defined as, it is dukkhalayam asasunam. It's a temporary, miserable place, because we don't have any permanent existence in this world. No one has got any permanent existence. No one. This earth itself has no permanent existence. It was formed 4.3 billion years ago. So this earth, this solar system, another 4.3 billion years ago, this earth itself won't be there. The sun is expanding. The sun becomes 200 times, 250 times in another 4 billion years of time. At that time, the earth itself will be gone inside the sun. So that way, everything is temporary in this material world. So here, if we try to achieve satisfaction and happiness in this temporary, miserable place, ourselves alone, we are not going to be happy at all. But as soon as we connect with God, that's what I was telling, with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, as soon as we realize, we understand that our existence in this world is temporary. But during this temporary existence, we have to gain something permanent. That is the main thing. So materially speaking, whatever gains we make, we are going to lose. But spiritually speaking, as a soul, so we are, Krishna is saying, again, as I mentioned, the law of conservation of soul. So similarly, there is the law of birth and death. Jatasya dhruvam mrityu, dhruvam janma mrityasya. So when a person is born, sure to die. That's what jatasya dhruvam mrityu. Similarly, when a person dies, is sure to born again. Dhruvam janma mrityasya. So as sure as death. So we say that as sure as death. So similarly, it is birth is sure when we die. So it's very simple, very easy to understand. So that way, we are going to keep coming back. So in this life itself, we need to gain something spiritually. So that way, we will be able to stop that. So that way the real happiness and real satisfaction comes once we have this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. When you act according to the dharma, according to the principles of this Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is saying that iti guhya uttamam sastram. This is the topmost sastra. So tasmat sastram pramanam te karya akarya vivasthitam. So you, for each and every activity, you consult this knowledge. Consult this knowledge. So Arjuna in the beginning, he was not at all happy. He was not satisfied. When he got the entire knowledge of Bhagavad Gita from Krishna, he was very much satisfied. He was able to fight. So Karishye Vachanam Tava, I will act as per your instructions. That's what Arjuna told Krishna. So that way, real happiness and satisfaction comes when we have this knowledge, when we realize that we are the soul, we are not the body, and when we are able to use this time. This human life is very precious. We cannot lose it. Its time is running out. Because when the time is right, we need to make use of it. We need to gain this knowledge and make as much progress, spiritual progress as possible. So then the real satisfaction, the real happiness comes. So then it will stay with us. So otherwise, in this material world, the so-called temporary happiness, it has got both beginning and end. So natesu ramate bhutaga. Krishna is saying that egi samsparsa jabhoga dukkha yonaya yevate adi antavantaga kaunteya natesu ramate bhutaga. So whatever happiness we try to get in this material world, so that is the source of our distress. Dukkha yonaya yevate, and it has got both beginning and end. So an intelligent person does not take participation in this kind of cheap material satisfaction. So with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, you will be able to achieve higher satisfaction. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We'll take up the last question. So I'm combining so many frequent questions here. How to overcome the overthinking about future in this COVID pandemic situation, and how to overcome the distractions and negative thoughts, and how we can concentrate on the work towards the actual target. That is how to motivate ourselves and choose the right path. In this pandemic, they need your advice. Or most of the participants have asked.
Yeah, I'm very thankful to all of those who asked this question. In fact, I wanted to talk about this during my class, during my lecture itself. But because this presentation, I was flowing through that presentation, I didn't want to disturb that flow. But I'm very, very thankful to everyone who asked this question actually. So this is a very, very tough time for this entire world actually. So for all of us, every country, everyone is really like it's like arrested, forced arrest. We are locked down. We are not able to move ourselves freely anywhere. It's a real situation. But we need to understand one thing, that even in our life also, we are able to move around. We are able to do all those things only up to certain age. We need to understand that. So this our existence in this material world is temporary. I already mentioned about it. So when we grow older, especially when a person becomes very old, after 75 or 80, when a person is handicapped, so then in general the society neglects, because we will be like in a house arrest. We will be like this kind of situation. We cannot go anywhere. So now that is the reality. But now the important point, we need to understand that this material world, anything can happen to anyone at any point of time, because nothing is guaranteed for us. So that is the reality, because this is so much temporary in this material world. But that should not stop our motivation. That should not stop our whatever work we are doing it. So that's very important. So that inspiration comes only when we have this knowledge again. So then we will be able to understand that this time also will pass. This also will go. But this time we are having a lot of time now. So that's very important thing we have, because now we are most of the time staying indoors, staying at home, lot of time. So this time, along with the subjects, what the students, especially for students when they are studying, they should prepare very well for their subjects studying. So these days, a lot of online opportunities are there, and I'm also very happy that the CIT is giving so much of webinars. So attend every day and gain all the knowledge. But also study this Bhagavad Gita on a daily basis, because this is a good time for us. Because when you gain this knowledge, then your life will become more meaningful, as I said. So because in this material world, everything is problem. There is that we need to understand, we need to acknowledge. So this kind of distress is there, but we need to depend. So that's why we need to understand, when we put Y is a function of X, so we are all function of the God. That's what we need to understand. So for any success, for any activity to be success, to achieve success, there are totally 5 factors. Panchaitani Mahabaho Karanani Nibodame Sankhe Kritante Proktani Siddhaye Sarva Karmana. So Panchaitani, Siddhaye means success of all the activities. There is Adhishtanam, Tata Karta, Karanam cha Pratak Vidam, Vividascha Pratak Chesta, Devam Chaivatra Panchamam. So there is a place, there is our body, the field of activities, there is the first factor, and then Karta, the performer, and then various instruments to perform that act, to perform that work. There is Karanam cha Pratak Vidam, we see Ubakaranam. In chemistry, the instruments we call it as Ubakaranam. So like that here Karanam means instruments, Karanam cha Pratak Vidam, Vividas cha Pratak Chestaga, various endeavors. So we will put so much of efforts, Vividas cha Pratak Chestaga, Devam Chaivatra Panchamam, Devam, ultimately the God. So all these 5 factors should come together for any activity to succeed. So in this kind of difficult time, so first thing is very important that we need to also be helping the government. We need to stop the spread of this. We need to stay at home as much as possible. All those things we need to help. So then all the time available time we should gain this knowledge. So that's what this slide, I'm not even closing this slide. I'm sure most of you got this information. So maybe let me, I don't know, anyway, it's fine. So contact me, and we study Bhagavad Gita and during this time, and gain so much of as much knowledge as possible, and have faith on God. That is the main thing. So if you have faith on God, so then definitely we will be this Shraddha. Shraddha is the main thing. So Shraddha is the only qualification needed to study Bhagavad Gita, nothing else. Shraddhavan labate jnanam. So a faithful person will receive the knowledge. Shraddhavan labate jnanam tatparaga samyatendriga. And only he will be able to control the senses. A faithful person will receive the knowledge, will be able to control the senses. Jnanam labdva param santim nachirena adhigachati. Once we gain this knowledge, very quickly we will attain everlasting peace, the supreme peace of mind. So that way, Shraddha, this knowledge, gain this knowledge. So during this time, when you have so much of time, study, understand, and there is vedabase.io website is there, VEDA Veda, then base PASC, vedabase.io. So in that website you can go, Bhagavad Gita, you can click and go through all these slokas. If you have any questions, you are always most welcome to ask me. So I've given my contact number here. So I have a lot of experience interacting with students. So I started the Bhagavad Gita class in IIT Madras in 1993. It's still going on for the last 28 years. So I'm always in contact with the students there. So I've seen through generations of students. So that way, you feel free to contact me anytime if you have any questions. So and of course, let us pray to God, and only by God's mercy, if some vaccines are found or some good things come, so then we'll be able to come out of this. But one thing we should never forget, this opportunity what we have got. So in this material world, nothing is guaranteed, and so we need to make use of this opportunity and get this knowledge. And once you have this knowledge fully, you will be able to withstand any kind of problems, any kinds of distress, because this knowledge is such a very powerful knowledge, powerful tool, and it will make our life so meaningful, and we will be able to really do our level best in any field, whatever we want to achieve, anything you want to achieve. If you just depend on this knowledge, use this knowledge as your investment, anything you want to achieve, you can achieve it. So that way, just be peaceful and depend on God and study this knowledge, get this knowledge. So that way, I also hope and sincerely pray to God that this difficulty will end, this pandemic should end soon. So yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir. So we are very happy to have a great session from you, sir, and having patience to address the questions from the participants. And your session definitely helped us to heal the stress from our day-to-day life and how to calm and control our mind by practice. And you gave a clear picture how to control our mind by our own positive thinking and so our feelings also. So you made us realize to the connection between our thoughts and feelings and make the mind our best friend. So on behalf of Chennai Institute of Technology, we thank you for spending your valuable time for us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Professor Dhanlakshmi. Thank you very much. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing all of you at another opportunity. Thank you. I want to thank I thank Mr. Sriram and Professor Balamurli and to you for organizing this wonderful webinar today. Thank you again. Thank you. And all of you have a great day and have a nice future. I wish you all the best to each and everyone who attended today. Thank you.
Yes. And thank you to all the participants on behalf of Chennai Institute of Technology. And your e-certificate and feedback link will be sent to your registered mail ID. So no worries about that. So thank you. And we'll meet in the next webinar. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. All of you have a great day. Thank you. Bye.